They say turnabout is fair play. Now this Wolnez feller has assaulted me on multiple occasions. Of course, broken my phone as well. He also wants to pretend that I'm a pedophile. Poor Andrew Wolnez, the pedophile. Poor Andrew Wolnez, the child molester. Right? You say turnabout is fair play, is it not? Don't go pretending like I'm a pedophile and be angry when I call you a pedophile back. Now there's some stuff that you yell that stuff at me, it don't make any difference. He's one of many people who wanted to call me that anti-LGBT F word. Well, first of all, that word don't hurt me at all. I get that it's a hurt word, it's a hate word. But you know what? I don't think there's anything wrong with being gay. Now, I'm not gay, but if I was, I guarantee you I'd let you know. I would be as loud and proud with it as I am with anything else in my life. Y'all are strange people. Now, if you want to play a game, you want to call me all sorts of bad names, accuse me of shit that I didn't do, because magically it makes it okay for you to be hurtful to people. Maybe now people won't realize what a pathetic fucking loser you are. You like that? You like it when I say those things? You beggar. That's right, you wanted to start shit with a man who can't run away and can't defend himself. And then you wanted to go beg other people to help you. Come on now, dude. You can't take me yourself? Of course, I got a lot more respect for him than I have for Chris, because you know what? This guy did so assuming he had backup. Chris Kurth made sure he had backup before he come running up on me. And I'm smaller than Chris Kurth. I'm also gimpy. I'm also, as you might have noticed, quite nonviolent. Now that Wolnez feller has assaulted me on at least 5 occasions, maybe 6, depending on your definition of assault. Now, how many times have I hit him back? 0. How many times have I kicked him? 0. How many times have I tried to break his phone? 0. Now let's take a look at some of my other predators. Yeah, you love these. Let's start off with Amy Witcher. Yep. Child neglect and abuse. Same thing with Natalie Bollinger's mother. Child neglect and abuse. What was her father charged with? Child neglect and abuse. See, here's the thing. That sick SOB beat his children and raped them. But he only got locked up for beating them. I'm out here looking for snipes. Well, lots of people say, Sean, you should keep your head up. Keep your chin up. Hold your head up high. But you know what? I found $20 bills, $50 bills, and half cigarettes. What do you say? Who taught you manners? Well, holy hell, I'll let you have the whole goddamn thing.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, God bless you.
We'll train you into being a decent person again instead of just being a cigarette mooch.
I know, you got a lighter.
I don't mind sharing.
All right, you got a lighter? I'm supposed to meet my friend here.
I do have a lighter. I'm not going to let you borrow a lung, though. I'm out of those.
Shit.
I only got 2 of them.
Picture.
Oh, dear Jesus, Lord Almighty. Oh, here you go.
Okay, I got some condoms.
I don't need any condoms.
Chronic.
Chronic? Oh, cool. I don't.
Smoke that?
Once in a great while, I smoke some pot. Once in a great while, but I'm not in the mood today.
Yeah, no good. Hi, bro.
But thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Dear Jesus, lard, almond, cheese, and rice. Look what just happened again. I look down and I see me a half a cigarette. I give it up. And I look down again and lo and behold, there's another half cigarette just sitting there with my goddamn name on it. Praise the Lord, almondy cheese and rice, right? A lot of people keep telling me to give it to God, give it to God, give it to God. Whew. You waiting for the second coming of Jesus Herbert Walker Christ? Yeah, you're going to be waiting a while. There's that saying, God helps those who help themselves. The moral of the story there is get off your ass. Now, you guys have heard the story of the man out in the flood and the 3 boats go by and he says, oh no, God's going to save me. God's going to save me. And he gets before the pearly gates and he says, I died. I had faith that God was going to save me and I still died. What's up with that, man? He says, well, I sent you a boat. You said God's going to save me. So I sent you another boat. You said God's going to save me. I sent you another boat. You said God's going to save me, and then you drowned. Now here's how you would look at it if you were through Katrina. You're on top of your house, the floodwaters are coming up. And there's a human being with a boat who comes and gets you. Are you going to render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's and render unto God that which is God's? That was a human being who went out there with their boat, with their time, putting their life at risk to come out and rescue your dumb ass, for you to give it up to your imaginary goddamn friend. I don't believe in your God, the Muslim God, the Hebrew God. I believe in none of your gods. Jesus did not serve God. He served humankind. Not just men, but also women. A lot of people want to pretend to be Christian at me. When they do wrong stuff, they say, oh, well, I'm not perfect, I'm not Jesus. But they make no effort to repent. You know, if people are being harmed because you didn't speak up, and they're going to continue being harmed until you speak up. Blaming the victim is not a very Christian-like thing to do now, is it? Playing victim. When your supposed friend has to come forward publicly because you don't care. Because you lied, cheated, and stole. Because you misrepresented the situation until you got what you wanted. And then you cast them away like trash. Now, a lot of people, they look at me, they assume I'm a Nebraskan, I must be an ignorant redneck. Well, I didn't grow up in Nebraska. I grew up in Colorado, California, Washington State, By the time I moved to Chapel, Nebraska, like that was literally my first taste of white society. That was it. I'd been in the system since I was 4 years old because my parents couldn't stay off of cocaine. A lot of people pretend that's a black person's drug. No, it's not. In the 80s, everybody was doing cocaine. They also introduced mandatory minimums. My dad got slapped with a mandatory minimum of 12 years. They also let him out after 6 because he spent 5 years on a work farm. Was he guilty? Oh, hell yeah. By the time I moved to Chapel, Nebraska at 15, I'd been to the toughest schools the West Coast has to offer. Well, Washington State anyway. Lincoln High School wasn't no picnic. If any of y'all have ever been to Lincoln High School in Tacoma, Washington, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't see too many white faces in that school. Certainly not in the senior class. I was a freshman, so you can imagine how well I got along. Now, did I take that with me? Do I blame every black person for that? All that shit happened all the way over there in Nebraska? I guess it's more that direction. No, I don't. Now, some of y'all might listen to some of my videos and go, man, you're sexist against women. Some of y'all might listen to other videos and go, man, you're sexist against men. No, I'm an equalitarian. I believe we should be treated equal. That's not what we get, is it? We've got bias. Now, you guys have heard of the ambiguous story, right? Like, these are stories where they don't say whether it's the man or the woman who's the predator or the victim. It's ambiguous. But at the end of the story, they take away the story and they give you a sheet of paper. It's a questionnaire. And it asks you things like, which one is the predator? Which one's the victim? Most of the time, the majority of the time, the woman is painted as the victim and the male is painted as the predator. That's how these people paint it in their own minds. Because the story itself is ambiguous. It doesn't say that the male or female were the predator or the victim. It's quite ambiguous. It's written that way intentionally. It helps to show people's bias. Now you can put it in as homeless people and people in houses if you wanted. You could make it black people versus white people if you wanted. Police versus civilians if you wanted. You could write an ambiguous story for just about any scenario to find out what your friends think. To find out how they actually think, who they actually blame. Why do I recommend that Jews read Mein Kampf? For the same reason that I recommend that black people read Mein Kampf. The same reason that I recommend that Hebrews read the New Testament. Matter of fact, the whole Bible, because there's parts of the Bible and parts of the Torah that aren't the same. I recommend that you read the Quran as well. Know your enemy as you know yourself. Also, I like the Hebrew way of thinking. Pray for your enemy before you pray for yourself. Pray that they not be your enemy. Is that not how it should be? Now this Wolnez feller, he's going to have to produce a victim if he's going to call me a pedophile. He's going to have to produce a victim if he's going to call me a murderer. Until then, he's an attempted murderer. He's attempted to harm me repeatedly over things that did not happen. And then play victim because I recorded him harming me. He can be as angry as he wants. He can throw as many tantrums as he wants. The thing is, he did the same thing that Chris Kurth did. He chose to harm a man who can't defend himself. Chose, as in made an intentional decision. Made a choice. I don't have quite enough tobacco to roll a whole cigarette, but that's alright. One thing that I've fought for years is assisted termination of life for everyone. Everyone. If your dad won't stop raping you, and your mom won't listen, you shouldn't have to cut yourself with a Lady Vic to get attention about that. You shouldn't have to pretend like you're trying to commit suicide to try to get their attention. Because once you've done that, they call you mentally ill. And for the rest of your life, people can beat you, they can rape you, they can steal from you. They can lie to you and cheat you. And it's always going to be your fault because of the mentally ill tag. All because you cut yourself because your mom wouldn't listen when your daddy raped you. Just so you know, it's like that for boys. We don't even have to cut ourselves. We're born with a penis. We're taught from day one that our job is to protect women and children. We are born learning that.
That's why I want to go.
Yeah.
My kids love it.
Oh, that was great. We did the whole west side of Montana.
Well, I didn't find what I was looking for over here. It happens, right? Is Andrew Wolnez a pedophile? You want to ask him? Don't go running around making false accusations about people. You got to say how you wanted to make them false accusations. Because he thought it would justify him being a bully. I can't run away. I got one choice and one choice only at that point. To take it. Hell yes, I turtle up. I'm not interested in violence. I'm not interested in swinging at people. And I'm always hoping to the dear Lord Almighty that I don't actually believe in. But when people are swinging at me, the thought going through my head is, dear God, I hope I don't hit him in the throat. I'm always worried about that. Always. When I was in Virginia visiting Natalie at her request, in 2016, while I was visiting Natalie at her request, her ex-boyfriend, Tim Beeson, was threatening suicide over and over again because she wouldn't come back to Colorado and touch his nuts. Now that Anna Solves lady pretended that because Natalie Bollinger pretended to Tim Beeson that I would do horrible things. Pretended that I might. Didn't say that I did. Just pretended that I might. And that was good enough. See, she replaced the actual events of 2016 in October with what Natalie pretended in 2017. So what happened in 2016 was completely ignored. The only thing that was allowed was slander. None of the evidence was allowed in court. And the situations where they knew that officers would be going to prison, they made sure I didn't get to go to court. And they always made sure I wasn't allowed to show evidence. That includes my own public pretenders. My own public pretenders refused to look at evidence, requisition evidence, refused to do their goddamn jobs. This is what makes all Americans pieces of shit. They allow it. They don't care. As long as it's not happening to you, it's okay. They must deserve it if it's somebody that's not you. But then when it is you, you whine like a mule. That's right. You pretend like I should just ignore this and pretend everything is okay while I take so much violence and so much abuse. Did you know I've never, ever been charged with a sex crime? Did you know that I've never, ever been charged, ever, with child abuse, let alone convicted? See, none of these people had a victim. They just wanted the excuse. Any excuse to harm somebody who can't defend themselves and they know isn't going to be heard. Who are the most likely people in this country to be abused? The disabled? Yeah. The homeless? Yeah. And police? No, not police. Men. That's right. Did I throw you for a ringer saying that? Someone whose name I'm not even going to try to pronounce typed, "Hey buddy." We're not buddies, you don't know me. But welcome to my channel. Maybe we could be buddies. Depends on how honest you are and how direct you are. Poor dearie, that dog has no idea. I will love it to death. I will hug it and squeeze it and love it and call it George. Well, uno momento. I'm gonna hide my telephone in my pocket because I'm gonna go beg for a cigarette. Don't tell my mother, okay? Hey, if I pretend I like somebody here, could I talk one of y'all out of a cancer stick?
I don't have one with me.
That's alright. I'm not gonna hate you. I'm too lazy. I'm willing to pretend I hate people once in a while. It depends on how mean they're being. Oh my God! And it's Arabian. Actually, if it was Arabian, you'd think it'd have the horse on it.
Yeah. No. Camel.
Depends on when you think Arabian. Do you think Arabian horse, or do you think like Prince Ali, Gloria,
Prince Ali.
Gloria, blah, blah.
Oh, I gotta get out of the sun. I have to get too much sun. Oh.
Yeah, that's why I don't go to church. I always get burned. That's a bad joke. I shouldn't have said that.
No, right?
Oh, thank you for the cancer. I'm gonna let you have your break.
Have a good one.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. All right, I got my cancer. I try to be direct with people, but a lot of people won't allow it. There's a lot of people who expect sugar coating. They want their waffles with syrup. They want their reality with maple and honey. Bonjour. Oh my God, that was the wrong way to sit. It's my birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you.
What are you, 107 now?
108. Yeah, thank goodness I don't have a bunch of great-great-grandkids running around fucking sucking up everything I got for Christmas and their goddamn birthdays. How the hell am I supposed to tell Peter from his brother Peter?
Next time, I walk into a bathroom.
Oh my God, dude, right?
I just did that. I saw this.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult when you know the locals and you see them doing that out in public.
Rather do it out in public.
Right?
Because you know what's going to happen? These days, I'm just going to be cut really badly. Someone's going to walk in there, like a pass out, hit their head on the things to stop the nothing. That's turn around and do the safe way. It's going to close all the food up.
Well, the reason they closed those bathrooms down to begin with and put a code on them, I went in there one day, and there's a guy passed out in the big stall. You know, the one for disabled people? The wheelchair stall? Dude was passed out, all fucked up on drugs. The whole place stunk like drugs. But he wouldn't wake up. He wouldn't respond, and I wasn't going to open up the stall and go in and find out. So I told the staff up here, a week later, they had codes on the doors.
I got a pretty high tolerance. That's it, man. I heard there's several overdoses last week.
I was told about 2 people that died yesterday. One of them died over by the Fred Meyers. I don't remember where she said the other one died. She also said there was a guy here who was killed and the cops ain't doing nothing about it. He was killed here in Tillamook, but I don't know where exactly. Apparently somebody she knew. Yeah, this town's nasty. I mean, it looks nice. I said, this town's nasty, but it looks nice.
I mean, the people that live here,
They are.
but there's an underbelly here that's pretty underbelly.
Yeah, like the KKK. Holy shit. I'm from Chapel, Nebraska. It's a KKK town too, so it's like I'm used to it. But it still creeps me the fuck out. Like, you look at me. Do I or do I not look Jewish? All right. When I have my Jew curls, I shaved them off intentionally. I wanted to keep them, you know, because I mean they naturally grow that way. But the other thing is, people do a lot of anti-Semitic bullshit at me because I look like a Jew. People driving by and screaming at me, "Where's your hat?"
One thing I've noticed about Tillamook is that they just dislike every color. They don't like that.
Oh, they like white people as long as they're not poor. And if you're a poor white person, they still might like you just because they feel sorry for you, because black people and Mexicans must have did it. It's fucking crazy the way people rationalize this bullshit in their head. Sorry!
Yeah, that's you too.
That lady rocks. She works at the library. Yeah, she volunteers at the library.
Who are you yelling at? Or you just yelling?
I was yelling about a situation with some goddamn dead people. Fucking sick of that shit. People expect me to feel sorry for Palestinians. They had to move once in 1948 and again in 2023. I'm like, fuck, I've moved more than that in the last week. And talking about fucking bombing out my spot, look at how many fucking blackened areas there are just surrounding this town from people lighting homeless people's encampments on fire. You accuse somebody of raping a kid, you accuse somebody of rape at all, you accuse somebody of stealing, you assume that somebody fucking shortchanged you on your dope or said it was something, next thing you know it's on fire. Or of course, then there's all these high school kids that have been literally doing this since at least June of last year.
Well, I could see the high school kids doing it.
Well, those are the ones that are doing it. Same ones that been fucking with me. I recorded them popping pumpkins in my car, egging my car, throwing fireworks at me.
That's
Not. And then that wolnez feller come up fucking assaulted me
the idea
again.
is what someone's dying and another dude with them and then around switch and vandalize half the syllabus in one night. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know the guy. I've got recordings with him on my phone.
Yeah.
Like I said, I try to record everything. You know, usually, and I tell everybody this over and over again. If I'm not recording, I'll apologize for not recording. It keeps us both safe. If there's 5 people in the area, it keeps 5 people safe. Also, I got a big mouth. Like when I saw that lady in the Dalles, Oregon, getting beaten off, I was the only person out of like 30 people there. I was the only person who spoke up. The guy who was hitting her put his attention on me like I knew he would. And that
But
wolnez.
I've also had it backfire. I saw a guy, some black dude, dragging this chick right through the intersection by her hair. I pulled over, basically interrupted it, yelling at her, mind your own business. You know, like, well, sometimes people just like being rude.
Yeah.
That is true.
I have noticed that. The more of an asshole he is, the more she's going to be interested because he's dominant.
And they like it. You know,
Yeah.
like my friend, he's telling me, oh, this guy tried to, basically saying his friend was getting raped. He's like, okay, I got raped. I'm like looking at the marks on her neck and I'm going, no, you just like fucking rough sex. And the guy fucking choking you out. And that's what happened. It's not, it wasn't rape. Like, well, you finally had to confess that, oh yeah, that's right. Don't run around and let people think that it's
I agree. False accusations get
I
people
think
killed.
there's already a lot of that going on.
Yeah, Facebook
People are like,
released an article saying that like 85% of the stuff that women claim that men do, they brag about on Facebook, but it's not true. And they converse with people in Messenger and basically plot it out and plan it out ahead of time, and it's fucked up. And Facebook admitted that's going on, but they still allow it. And then, of course, people don't make a big deal about that at all. And then there's also the Twitter and TikTok murders. Like, women get on there and they pretend to be underage, and when these guys don't bite, well, then they step up their game. And when the guys still aren't down and they say, hey, I'm not okay with 17-year-olds doing this kind of stuff, I'm not interested in kids, then they'll make another account. And then they'll say that they're 18, they're an adult. And then they'll say, oh, well, I'm the same person. You knew I was only 17. Like,
right.
This guy recently just killed himself, you know, on the internet. He killed himself in front of all of his viewers over shit like that.
Well, at least it went out in a great story.
Shit, I tried committing suicide on fucking video. Right after Natalie was killed, people were threatening to kill my friends and family and anybody that helped me. I was getting assaulted every day. Didn't have anywhere to stay. The friends that I did have that offered to let me stay there were so fucked up on drugs that they didn't know what the hell was going on. They were busy abusing their girlfriend. It was hell. So yeah, after like 5 or 6 people let me know people threatened to kill them and their kids all in one day, yeah, I took 2 bottles of 200 milligram caffeine pills and the whole package of sleeping pills. Yeah. Nurse even said I did it right. The nurse even said I did it right. She wanted to know who taught me how to do it. I told her I grew up in the system.
Well, you did it right, or you didn't do it right.
Yeah,
I mean, it didn't work. I mean, now you're a year older.
actually, I'm 7 years older, 6 years
A
older.
little wiser.
No, if I was wiser, I wouldn't still be alive. I mean, who the hell would want to live through this? And then there's, of course, people that say that I deserve it because I speak up. No. I speak up about abuse because abuse happens. It's different. It's cause and effect. If I didn't have people assaulting me, I wouldn't have an assault to speak up. If people didn't threaten to kill my family, I wouldn't have those threats to speak about it. If they didn't do it repeatedly, I wouldn't have needed to speak up about it. If they hadn't laid their hands on me repeatedly, I wouldn't have had to speak up about it. If they hadn't literally gone to my sister and threatened my sister and my niece in person, I wouldn't have had to speak up about it. But this is my family looks like. And then, of course, that wolnez seller wants to accuse me of being a pedophile, a murderer, all sorts of other shit, a homosexual, everything that he can scream out in the book. Magically, that makes it okay for him to assault me repeatedly. Then he pretends like he's only assaulting me because I'm recording him while he tries to break my phone. No, if he hadn't, I don't hold my camera pointed at you. That's what people don't need to know what the fuck you look like. It's none of their fucking business. You're not out here being a predator to people. You're not out here assaulting innocent people and making false accusations. You don't create problems for me. You're not trying to hurt me.
No.
But also, you don't throw it in my face when I tell you people are abusing me. You don't say stupid, ignorant crap like, well, I'm not doing it. Whether or not you're doing it doesn't stop you from doing it.
Yeah, that's what's wrong.
Now, I don't expect that people are going to stand up to me the way that I stood up to James, or the way that I stood up to Tamara, or the way that I stood up for Dora, or any of these other people that were being assaulted. I don't expect people to do that for me, but that's a good thing to do. Nice people will tell you they're sorry it happened. Nice people will promise that they'll help you turn it in, but they're always too busy. A good person right then and there will do something.
Yeah, I'm more of a, if I'm there, I'll be there. I'm not gonna make any extra other promises. I believe in letting you
Yep, and when you weren't able to make it, you let me know. When you weren't able to let me know, you had a valid excuse. Now, whether I call it an excuse or a reason, it doesn't matter. They're pretty much interchangeable today. Now, if I say excuse, you're supposed to get butthurt and throw a tantrum like a 5-year-old, but your generation doesn't do that ignorant shit. Yeah, and an understanding of the English language. Ignorant isn't an insult. If I'm talking out my backside about nuclear engineering, yeah, I got an IQ of 172, but that doesn't automatically mean that I come with an engineering degree or a nuclear science degree. So if somebody tells me that I am completely ignorant talking out my backside because I repeated something I saw on the History Channel, and they're an actual nuclear technician, I'm probably going to believe them over the History Channel.
I mean, I hate to say it, but almost every, I've been up and down this garage, almost every homeless person I've heard has some kind of really great life. Listen, it's not all true.
Oh, dude, I had $1 million condos and I owned a multi-million-dollar construction business. I've heard it too.
Oh, yeah.
I've also been to work with through Labor Ready with a lot of homeless people that know their shit when it comes to construction.
Of course.
Better than anyone else.
And a lot of them, had things happen in their course of their life.
Marriage. Don't get married. That's what every man at Labor Ready will tell you. Don't get married.
That's why they're running. But the problem with those guys is the reason why they're running from Labor Ready to Labor Ready is simply trying to avoid paying child support.
A lot of them are going to Labor Ready so they can pay their child support so they don't get locked up. Boulder, Colorado, that was the majority of the guys that worked at Labor Ready in Boulder, Colorado were parents. A lot of them were single parents. And Boulder, it's kind of like Tillamook. It's expensive as fuck.
It's expensive everywhere now.
Yeah.
There isn't anywhere that's...
I knew guys there who took care of their kids and were the sole parent in their children's lives who still paid child support for the mothers. And it's not from back payment because he was basically paying her not to show up all drugged out of her fucking gourd trying to get more drug money.
Yeah, I saw a couple around here that, and I'm one that I'm willing to really lean and look the other way when it comes to parents trying to raise their kids while living in a vehicle.
Yeah.
If you're the kind of person that's doing way too many drugs, kids way too dirty, you're way too dirty, man, it's tough for me not to say something.
Oh, I absolutely would say something in that situation. The first people I'd say something to is them. Give them a chance to correct the behavior. When I had resources, I gave my resources freely. There's a lot of single moms and single dads that I let shower. Of course, it wasn't just my place. I had to share it with Tigger and Aaron. But I mean, that was one of the things that was great about it is that Tigger was always home. She was pregnant, so for her, she wasn't going on a 4-mile journey. So she was always there. We always had a female in the house for if somebody showed up that needed a shower that was a woman. We always had, well, she wasn't supposed to answer the door unless either me or Aaron were there. Like, if we're not there, she's not supposed to answer the door. Not for a guy or a girl. But that was for safety issues because they'd been robbed a couple of times. When they first moved to Boulder, they wanted to get up and out and get unhomeless. This was before 64 was passed, so marijuana was still illegal. So they were selling pot. They got robbed at gunpoint. A couple other fucked up situations. They decided they were done selling pot, but they also still had to deal with people who, as soon as they still did, get somebody knocking on your door at 4 o'clock in the morning. You haven't seen them in 2 years. Hey man, I just got out of fucking prison, man. You got any weed? Man, you're wanting to go right back. It's still illegal, homie. But we got good news for you. There's a vote here in a couple of months. Something called Amendment 64. Yeah.
Colorado was Washington was like, did you see how much Colorado made? Boom. The very next year they were on board.
Yeah, the problem is all those idiots that wouldn't vote to get it legal in their state are the reason that it wasn't legal in their state. You know, most of these people were smoking. They were paranoid they were going to get put on a list. So after Colorado made it legal, we get like every closet smoker in America who voted to have it illegal where they came from because they didn't want to be put on a list. Now they moved to Colorado mysteriously for no good reason. So, do you have a good job there? No, I'm leaving a job I've had for 23 years to go to Colorado and work at a Burger King with my wife and my 3 kids. Like, yeah, you're a cool. It is. I see over on the corner flying a sign for showing some legs.
Yeah, happy birthday sign is good.
It's not their birthday.
No, it's yours. Say, hey.
It's my party. I'll cry if I want to.
That's right. My party. It's my pond, yeah, that's nice. I want you. Give me some money, I'll start it tonight. You would cry too if it happened to you. Ba-da-da-da-da.
Oh, there I am trying to break my own phone. That dude yesterday fucking broke it more. Alright, well, I better get back to my car where my sign is. I'm fucking flat broke. I got change.
You do?
Yeah, I do. I got at least 3 nickels, 4 nickels, and 2 pennies. See that right there? That's where it's at.
No, it's not.
That's in your on, boys.
Here, there's some more towards your
It'll get wasted more than likely on coffee or gas. If I get coffee, it actually contributes to both. I just don't have a carburetor to sit on.
Just the carburetor?
No, it's...
You almost answered it, didn't you?
Alright, I'll be back.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Thank you, sir. If any of these white people give you any problems, you let me know.
I would quit smoking at the bathroom.
Right? Alright, maybe we should talk about the people who are verifiable pedophiles. Robert Franklin Mornick being one of them. You know? Ted Bollinger being one of them. Tim Beeson being one of them. Kenneth Zarecki being one of them. Yeah. Rebecca Klang being one of them. Yep. There are things that you just don't do. You don't molest people. You don't rape people. You don't beat on people. I feel that those are acceptable terms. We're down to 2% battery, so guess what we're going to do? We're going to hopefully get my phone plugged in time to make sure that it doesn't die. Now, this Wolnez feller wants to go making false accusations and accusing people of being pedophiles. How about you go after actual pedophiles instead of innocent people? Alright, come on now. There's got to be a set of keys in here somewhere. Ah, there they are. Let's get this shit started. Alright. 1% battery. Jesus, that was fucking close. %. Holy shit. That's like defusing bombs in the movies. Fucking perfect. That's goddamn suspense right there, son. Ugh. And one thing you might have noticed, there are a lot of people that are nice to me. And thank goodness. They do give me some hope for the world. But people don't recognize how at risk men really are. Or rather, they do. Many of these people have exploited it themselves. There's a lot of people who only have any sort of interaction with me because they feel bad for having done that to others. It's a sick, sad world that we're living in. Now let's play the thing, lady here. Ah, shit. Oh, that didn't work. I broke it.
I think I figured out my issue with my lack of attraction to straight men. They don't have hobbies. When I ask what you do for fun, I want you to tell me you make pottery, or bake, or you're the least wants a man can have while existing with a woman, the better. It's actually very dangerous of you to tell men that they should be yearning. And also yearning is not a hobby. All straight men do is a major in business and drink and occasionally rock climb. I thought business was a good thing. I thought that like women in business too but that's for the girlies now? Or do you understand that business is so many different things? There's so much that goes into business.
This
Why
is the Dadvocate. Now, that's not the one that I was looking for, though. Well, there was one of these in specific I was going to play for you. But apparently I can't find it. It's one of the mansplaining things. Maybe it's this one.
Imagining what it must be like to be a new dad. Continuing on with hobbies. Yes, they don't have any less time at all. Friendships unaffected. Yeah, any dad will tell you their friendships go completely unaffected for sure. No physical pain, no pressure to breastfeed. Fair enough, I suppose. But no unsolicited advice. No one ever tells dads how to parent. That's a myth. Society praising you for doing the bare minimum.
Now, hold on a second. Now, that's not the one that I was picking, but the thing is, what is the help that women provide for men? Unsolicited advice. Do you apply the rules when a man has a problem? The rules that you expect from him? That you just want him to listen without giving unsolicited advice? Let's see. Oh wow, there's a pretty lady in here among all these painted peoples. It's actually the same lady, but it looks like there's one of them where she's not wearing makeup. And I'm not trying to be rude by saying this, but you don't look like people when you have that shit painted on your face. You look like your face is painted. Well, I'm not able to find it now. It's probably a really old one. Let's see if it pops up
I
in
think
short.
I figured out my issue
That
with my
one's not
lack
it.
of attraction.
This one's a Russian tank operator. Fuck it.
This was single father experience trying to book a simple family photo session.
Doesn't apply to me. I have no kids. Now, of course, if you're not a dad, you don't matter. If you're not a parent, you don't matter. If you're not a woman, you don't matter. Now, the last one that she was on, I'm trying to remember what it was about, because I might be able to type it in and find it. But basically, she's trying to woman-splain something that another woman had said. Maybe this one.
Men say so much with their faces. Here are a few of them and what they mean.
Alright, I don't care. We're treated like punching bags. Like we're not human beings. Like we're monsters. Oh, looks like I'm not going to be able to find it. Now that shitty ass wolnez feller wanting to pretend that I'm a homosexual is an excuse to assault me. Wanting to pretend that I'm a pedophile is an excuse to assault me. Wanting to pretend I'm a murderer is an excuse to assault me. How many people have harmed me over that shit so far? Can you even keep count? I know I can't. When I say people are shitty, what I actually mean is that people are shitty. I wish that made sense to you. Those of you who have pampered lives are always telling those of us who don't how lucky we are. You know how lucky you are to live in the United States? Well, that doesn't help. Oh, here's one of our episodes of mansplaining.
This is the secret to how to become the most trustworthy man your girl has ever dated. Simply
Don't care. Not interested in fucking dating. Not even a little bit. Hmm. Well, I'm having problems finding it. And on this phone, it won't let me go back to view the stuff in the library because I don't have an account attached to this phone. But there's a lot of actual pedophiles I've had to deal with. A shit ton of them. People like Robert Franklin Warnick. This one,
Let's talk
I
about why
found
friend
it.
zone does not exist. Friend zone is this made-up idea that was essentially created by men who try to justify any rejection by a woman.
Nope. That's not it. The friend zone shouldn't be called the friend zone. This is the toolbox. These are the men that you pretend to give a shit about. You tell them they're different from the other guys because you want them to do things. Sometimes you lead them on with sex. Sometimes you lead them on with something as simple as a friendship, or that you'll help them later. But the friend zone doesn't exist. I agree, actually, but for different reasons. The friend zone isn't something made up by men. It's a state of existence as a simp. Where a woman knows that you, as a male, are taught all this fucking bullshit from birth about how basically your life exists to serve women. The friend zone is what women who take advantage of men have. I think it should be called the toolbox. When she dates an asshole because she's attracted to assholes and he beats the fuck out of her, there's one of them tools in the toolbox for every situation. You've got one that'll co-sign so you can get a new apartment. You got one that'll give you some money so that you can get that new apartment. You got another one who'll rent a U-Haul, and you got 3 more that'll help you move everything. It's tough juggling men, isn't it? Takes a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of energy, doesn't it? Juggling men. That's what your friend zone is. The guys that don't exist until you want something. That's what the friend zone is. It's not something that guys invented about rejection. Oh, I'm in the friend zone because she won't touch my dick. Well, you know what? If she's not attracted to you, yeah, you're going to the toolbox. You exist when you have some use to her. Until then, shut up, sit down, and wait your fucking turn. And that's the reality of how it is. It's just about sex. It's not just about people leading us on. There's a lot more to it. So I'm going to let the dadvocate tell her part of it.
To this creator's credit, she may be genuinely unfamiliar with the phenomenon I'm about to describe because she as a person may be very direct and forward with men in her life.
Not likely. And the fact is, this woman lives in the United States of America. She's not ignorant of what goes on around her. She just wants to jump on the man-hating bandwagon. And the dadvocate wants to try giving her some credit. No, Lauren, you know better. I probably shouldn't just assign her the name Lauren. It just has special connotation to me.
But so TikTok removed the sound, but in this clip she's saying most men have small penises.
That's not it. Ah, shit, I lost it again. God damn it. Well, that was fucking useful, wasn't it? You see how difficult this is to do with phones? Oh, come on. We didn't even get to the part where she started talking because she fucked the pooch up big. Oh, come on. Well, looks like I lost it again. It happens. I do apologize for that. The thing is, the friend zone is when somebody pretends to care about you. Now, men and women can both do this. But men don't generally do this habitually. For men, we're expected to work from day one and to work hard. And not to mooch, not to beg, not to ask, not to nothing. If you need help, you just shut up and go to the back of the fucking bus like every good gimpy male is supposed to, is expected to. Men are not allowed to have problems. If we do, we better have served in the military or we have no excuse. If we worked at a factory making the webbing for soldiers, well, that doesn't matter. We're not actual soldiers, right? If we work at a factory making the knives for the soldiers and we get injured, we don't matter because we're not soldiers, right? Those soldiers rely on our infrastructure and our labor. Those soldiers can at least try being a little bit fucking grateful for everything that we've given them. Do you like hearing that? These soldiers aren't fighting for my fucking rights. They sure as shit ain't fighting for my rights in Afghanistan or Iraq. My rights aren't in jeopardy there. I don't exist there. My rights as an American matter here in America. And you're not fighting it here in America, are you? You're not. There really is no friend zone. You're either the current tool she's playing with, or you're one of the tools waiting your turn, but you're still a fucking tool.